I don't give a fuck.
I'm here for it because we was ranting last episode, and we just gotta keep that energy going, man.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Do re mi fa sol la ti do is what the singers do.
Is it fucking vocal exercises?
Yeah,
vocal cord exercises.
Yeah, my daughter's like a professional singer, so she trains me during the day on her spare time, of course.
Oh, you put out an R&B album soon. Yup, do like the double album like Nelly did.
Yeah, like Jay-Z and the Molester.
Yeah, but it's both you.
Woo, we starting off with a bang there, boy.
What fucking duet with yourself.
Starting off with a bang.
Got to, man.
Except I don't molest.
Nor should you. Nor should you.
Nor should anyone, for that matter.
No, that's a fucking fact. That's a crazy ass way to come on here. But you know what? That's a fact. Public service announcement. Don't touch people without their consent.
Tell them. Could you repeat that one more time, Jay?
Do not touch people without their consent.
There's some people that don't get that.
It seems like that's something that shouldn't need to be said, but you know, this is the world we live in nowadays, I guess. I mean, it's probably always been the world, quite honestly.
That's scary to think. That is scary to think.
It really is a shame, you know, and they, you know what? It's interesting that they run around and they think that people just need to be taught all of these things, and nobody doesn't know this. Like they've been telling people forever not to steal, and people still steal. It's not a teaching thing, man. It's not a specific values thing that they're teaching people.
I agree. That's why I always say I don't abide by any laws but my own. So I know not to touch people when they don't want to be touched. I know not to steal things that doesn't belong to me, or touch things that doesn't belong to me. I know these things. I don't have to abide by a law that the government has given us or bestowed upon us. I don't have to go by those rules. I have my own rules and virtues that I abide by.
See, I'm a big believer that as a whole, society is set up for stupid people, because these are the only people who need to be told, yo, don't break into other people's houses. It's like you're a dickhead. This is why you need these rules. This is why there's 45 mile per hour speed limits, because most people are retarded and can't figure out how to drive. Like this is what things are for. This is why you have enter and exit signs, because people can't figure out how the doors work without them, or they have the handle that says push and pull, because people can't common sense these things or look up at a hinge.
That's a great point.
Society is set up for the stupid, man, to prevent stupid people from destroying everything or killing themselves. This is why you have warnings on coffee cups that say caution hot. Like, no shit. Because of dumb people.
Maybe they should have a signed don't touch babies.
They should, but you know what? People they got the floor slippery when wet sign. It doesn't stop people from walking in it and falling and busting their ass like idiots.
That's true.
Or them little turtles that people put up in their neighborhoods because there's kids there or whatnot, so they want people to drive slow.
That's why I don't go outside, Jay.
I mean, that's fair, man. I try not to.
Even when people see these signs that say don't do this and don't do that, people usually find a way to do these things, and it baffles me. It baffles me. I tell my airport stories and my grocery stores stories all the time because I want to display the stupidity and the ignorance of people walking around, seeing signs and not obeying them.
Needing signs in the first place, though, is
needing them
crazier thing.
Needing them and then saying, now I don't need them. I need them. Now I don't need them. Except, Jay, when they're scared to death. When they're scared to death, they need guidance. Take this shot. Take this take this pill. Do this. Walk here. Stand here. Put this mask on. Jump on one foot and spin around and bark like a dog.
It'll keep you safe.
Yeah, except when you're scared to death, that's when people decide to abide by the rules. Isn't that interesting?
They don't even question the rules then. They don't even
Ah,
stop and wonder, what does this rule actually make sense? They don't
who
stop and
cares?
wonder that they don't think through what it is that they're being told and think, well, hold on, wait a minute. They're just like, no, they said this will keep me safe from the thing that they're telling me I will definitely have but can't see and can only know if I go to them and they take a test and tell me.
Isn't that something? We should conduct some experiments, Jay. We should con- conduct some social experiments utilizing these very things that we're trying to point out to the people right now. We should do this. I wish we had the budget. Matter of fact, we're gonna have to gather up a budget to gather a bunch of idiots or sheep or regular people, whatever you want to call them.
All
Put
the
them in a
same.
room. Put them in a room and just experiment on them.
You know what? I saw a video the other day. It was some guy was driving. It was a line of cars on the freeway, like off to the right side. And he was driving past it for a good 30 seconds, just cars all the way down. And at the very front of the line of cars was a car broken down on the side of the road with their hazards on. So people just lined up behind this motherfucker thinking that it was the exit. No thought to the fact that they were sitting there not moving. No thought to the fact that it wasn't actually the road that they were on and they were off on the shoulder, just lined up there, ready to get off. They're like, oh, there's a line of people here, so I must need to go here too.
That's why sometimes when I hear road rage stories, I'm like, well, sometimes the motherfucker need to, get his ass whipped because that's just stupidity. That's stupidity, which brings me to my next point. And I got a quick little story I like to interject with, as I do often every week. I like to bring my my everyday mundane happenings in the house and use them as teaching lessons. Jay, why not?
Everything's a lesson if you look into it.
Especially somebody crazy like me who observes just the little minute things in everyday behavior. The other day, we're actually preparing to vacate the premises where I'm at and move to another area, which is normal people call it moving. I don't know why I just explained that in that.
Nah, that's better.
manner.
We can't be engaged in the activities that the normal people engage in, you know? So we might got to do the same things, but we do it a little bit differently. So it gets explained different.
Right. So, I'm going to telepathically move all of my belongings with my brain, not my physical brute strength, but my mind, Jay. My mind. Anyhow, we're going through the cupboards or cupboards, how, most people or some people pronounce them. And we're emptying out a whole bunch of stuff, flour. I don't know. I go to the stores and I buy a whole bunch of healthy flours that I never use, like fucking artisan flour and 3% rye flour and all this other garbage. And
Sounds
I don't.
fancy.
Yeah. I try to bake bread and it comes out with the consistency of a rock. And I try to make pizza dough and it turns out, just eat some. That's why I just simplified my diet right now, Jay, because I just try to invent new healthy ways to eat garbage. And it just doesn't fucking work, man. It
There's a
doesn't
whole
work, man.
entire
So,
subsect of people online that do nothing but that. How do I make all of these things
right.
healthy? It's like, this is so much work, man. Just eat some fucking beef.
I'm not gonna lie, they get me sometimes because I'm looking at these things. I'm like, look at this fucking pizza this motherfucker made out of cottage cheese, salt, and motherfucking bacon powder. He just made a fucking pizza
It should be
pie.
looking good, man. I just don't got the patience. I don't got the
Yeah,
patience.
yeah. FYI, none of that shit works. Let me just throw that out. Sorry, influencers or whoever the fuck. I'm sorry who making money off it. It shit just don't work anyway. I have a whole bunch of a cupboard full of this shit, so we're dumping all this shit out. But the thing we don't get rid of, for whatever reason, we got this old bag of sugar, the dirtiest sugar. shit get crusty. You know how parts of it turn into rock and the rest
Yup.
of it different consistencies throughout the bag of sugar. And it's crumbled up. It doesn't even have a container. It's just crumbled up. One of them
Folded down
bags.
like the old lunch bag.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like a lunch bag. Yep. And it's in the back of the cupboard. And my wife goes, no, let's save that. We might need that for something. I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, and here goes my brain, and I'm like, this deadly substance, just this deadly substance that we just nonchalantly want to keep around. This substance that kills millions of people year by year, and we just say, hey, keep the sugar.
Never know.
Get rid of that. Keep the fucking sugar, man. You never know when you might need a fucking poison. You never know. You might one day you might have a fucking taste for some fucking poison. Right? So that gets me to thinking. Jay. And I'm like, you know what? This is a great subject. This is a great subject, Jay. Like, how in the world do they get people or convince people to buy into these products? These deadly, vicious products, right? How do they get us to accept products like sugar, alcohol, processed foods, fast foods? How did they get us to accept this as being normal, Jay? So in most cases, and the crazy part is, Jay, in most cases, these things are considered treats and rewards. Ain't that they convinced you that this deadly substance is a fucking treat? How did they do that, Jay? Hey, if you do good on your math test, you get this cupcake that has 90,000 grams of sugar that might cause you to have diabetes in the future if you consistently keep up with it. I'm going to give you this as a reward for being a great student. How about that, Jay? How about you just got a promotion on your job and you want to celebrate? What do normal people celebrate this joyous occasion with, Jay? What do we
Beer,
celebrate?
shots, happy hour.
More fucking poison. How did they get us to convince us that this is like a daily normal thing? It's even a reward. That gets me to thinking, Jay. That gets me to thinking. Me and Yoda, we know exactly how they got you to buy into these products. We know exactly how they got you to think laboratory produced products like Beyond Beef is healthier than a ribeye steak, which is my favorite cut, by the way. How did they get us to do this, Jay? You know the answer, but hold on. It's called conformity. Something called suggestibility. Right? And I'll let Jay dive in a little bit more because this goes deep. Right? I'll just give a little gist of what we're about to get into before Jay spills. So Jay sent me this article about a researcher, scientist, whatever you want to call him, named Solomon Asch, right? And he has this study that's been coined the Ash Conformity Experiments. And I've heard of these things, and on this show I've mentioned, and I've brutally mishandled the interpretation of trying to explain the monkeys or the fucking pole. But anyway, it's a form of what the Ash experiment is. But real briefly, researchers began studying this at length in the 1950s, where they were able to shift the preferences and the choices of adults toward majority of expert opinion, or the majority or the expert opinion. So people would gravitate towards the majority or the expert opinion. But I'll let Jay dive into the details of the Ash experiment and how they use this experiment to kind of sway us or convince us to buy into products and mostly everything that that certain things that fucking destroy us, kill us on a daily basis, we look at it like it's nothing. And even ideologies or religion, whatever it may be, they use this this tactic today. And I can't even name how the amount of time this is used. But Jay, give these people a spill and about this experiment, or not even experiment. It's fucking true. It's been going on forever. But just give them a little spill about what's going on.
Man. So the simplest version, or the most interesting part of it to me, I guess, which you could really take and apply to all of these things, is whether go around a room and ask somebody about what it is that they're being shown, and say you got 10 people in a room, 9 people are placed there, and 1 person is unaware of what's going on. The 9 people who were placed there know exactly what's happening, and they hold up a picture. Here's an apple in a picture, and they go around and they ask the first 9 people who were placed there, who were part of an experiment, what's on the picture? What is this a picture of? And they say orange. And then the 10th person, who has no idea what's going on, who can look at the picture and see an apple, says exactly what it is that the 9 people before them said, which is orange. So they ignore what it is that they see, either believing that they're the ones who are incorrect, or don't want to ruffle any feathers amongst the group and be the one to upset everybody. And I think this is very telling of a lot of things in society, right? Like, people talk about their studies all of the time, and for the most part, I'm a big believer that most studies are bullshit and propaganda and just used to paint whatever narrative it is that they want painted, or to confuse people, because you'll see studies that say alcohol is good for you. You'll see studies that say alcohol is bad for you. You'll see studies that say red meat is good. You'll see studies that say red meat is bad. So I'm a big believer that most of them exist, again, either to push a narrative or to confuse people so they don't know what it is to actually do, because you could find a study to prove whatever it is that you want. But this one here, it kind of just seems like a little standalone thing until you look out into the rest of the world, right? And this is a good indicator of groupthink, how people go along with the masses of stuff, and why you see all of the time that let's go to the time that we were talking about at the very beginning, the pandemic, where they were constantly talking about the number of people who got the shot, which is subtly encouraging people. Oh, you should be one of these people too. Most people are doing this. You should do this here too, right? Or on the other end, with people not wanting to go against people because they're afraid of upsetting anybody, right? Now, who's afraid of upsetting people? Weak people who cannot defend their ideas against people getting upset. And this is a great look into why it is that they push all these other sorts of narratives, right? Masculinity is bad. Stoicism is toxic. Being strong is evil, and all of these other things to encourage you to be weaker. You should embrace your emotions. You should act how it is that you feel, because a weak person is a controllable person, if for no other reason than the fact that they are unwilling to stand behind their beliefs because they are not prepared to deal with the repercussions. So they encourage you to be weak so that you will go along with the masses. So even if you don't fall into the category of just accepting what everyone else does, you will accept it because you don't want to go against everyone else, because you're afraid of being out there on your own, because you're not strong enough to survive by yourself.
You know what else I found interesting about that, Jay?
Yes, sir.
That even the participants that answered correctly and confidently, knowing the correct answers to the test, for lack of better words, even the ones who answered correctly, they later admitted that they hesitated. I found that interesting. So even the ones who confidently said, I'll give you a couple of percentages after I say that, but even the ones that was like, no, that line, because it was a line,
the different length line
trial or whatever, and even the ones who answered confidently, later admitted that, I'm not going to lie, I almost went with the group. I wanted to, but I knew what was right. And right. So that I found interesting. Also, a couple of percentages, 70%, 74% of the participants knowingly gave at least one incorrect answer just to follow. 74%. Just to
That's
follow.
crazy.
Yeah, just to follow the group. And one other thing, Jay, about that, I found it interesting because I studied it a little bit. Ash, a quote from Solomon Ash, the researcher, he quoted that intelligence, no, excuse me, that intelligent, well-meaning young people are willing to call white black. He said that's a matter of concern. Intelligent, well-meaning young people that are willing to say white is black or black is white,
Just to
he
keep the
finds,
status quo.
just to keep the status quo. He said that is quite concerning. This is 1951, by the way. Found that interesting, man, because like you said, that's what's going on exactly today as we speak. Not only with the foods we eat, the ideas that are planted in our head. Like you said, we brought up the vaccine shot and the not taking a shot or taking a shot, and the different how they use studies to either sway us this way. Is beef good? Is it not good? Is this? For me, simply and plainly put, a lot of that stuff is marketing. Whether you want to, whether you're for beef or you're for this or you're against alcohol or you're with alcohol or you're selling of course, if you are selling alcohol, it'll behoove you to gravitate towards the studies that show alcohol can be good for you. So of course I will push that agenda. So yeah, Jay, I just found that interesting that even the ones who knew to answer correctly still wanted to go the other way. They still wanted to go the other way.
See, what people the part about well-meaning people who will say that white is black simply to placate everybody else or to go along with the group is what is of the biggest concern, because this is how people wind up enslaved, because they are willing to accept blatant and obvious lies just because most people do it. There was a thing in 1984. I know I've referenced that a few times, but there's a thing in 1984 where they say if you could get someone to accept, not only say but believe that white is black, then you control them. That is the last step of slavery, is to take, not forced slavery, but willing slavery, is when you are able to take people and say, and hold up a pizza in front of them and tell them, oh, this is chicken. And then they all say, okay, yes, this is chicken. They will follow whatever it is that you say. And again, you see this nowadays with stuff where people will completely disregard their own eyes to go and believe what it is that they are told. Like we'll talk about the pandemic thing. Like we said, they're saying it's all this terrible stuff happening and going on, but you look outside, you don't really see any of that. I would also be willing to wager that's a large part of the reason of why they wanted to keep everybody else in their houses, so that they could paint a picture to you of what's happening outside, and you're not out there to say, no, that's not true. So I've heard people say it's a control thing, yeah, but also it allows them to paint whatever narrative they want, because no one's outside to see what's going on. So if they paint a picture of the streets littered with dead bodies and whatnot, you're not out there, you don't know. You're sitting inside. You have no choice but to believe them.
Is that pandemic, that whole fiasco, is that, and I hate, I don't want to harp on it, but we're using it as a teaching tool. So was that like the Ash Conformity Experiment on the grandest scale? If you want to think about it like that, that's how I would think about it.
So I think if you look at it from all steps, it is that, right? Because if you remember at the very beginning, everyone was buying up they bought out all the toilet paper for some reason, right? Now, if you think about this logically, the so-called virus, disease, whatever itself had absolutely nothing to do with toilet paper, but people were just out there buying it. So to me, I think that nobody was going to go out and buy a bunch of toilet paper until the news started saying people are going to go buy a bunch of toilet paper, and then they all did. And I see this similar things happened in other times. Like 2008, I lived in Charlotte, and we ran out of gas because they were talking about this might happen because of some oil tanker or something like that. So everybody panicked and went to the gas station and bought up all the gas, which is why we didn't have gas. Not because of the actual thing that happened, but because everybody went to fill up. So they said a thing and everyone went out to try. They said this crashed or whatever, some car or something crashed. It was mad long ago, but some car or something crashed, some truck, some shit like that. And the gas will be late, but we'll all be fine as long as you just get it like normal. So of course everyone went out to buy it. Then we ran out of gas. So that also seems like another thing of it's just suggestibility, right? Like if people are told something might happen, they will go out and make that thing happen. And they just see what it is that they could do with that. And they keep doing it on a bigger and bigger scale. So just like with the toilet paper, everyone's out buying toilet paper. So everyone then goes out and buys the toilet paper and then creates a shortage of toilet paper. They have a couple of studies of things too it was like 10 years ago with the Tide Pods and whatnot, where there was like kids was eating Tide Pods. So there was like if you look at the data of it, it shows that as they reported on people eating Tide Pods, more people ate Tide Pods. So them reporting about people eating Tide Pods was making people go out and eat more Tide Pods. They have the same thing with anorexia back in the day. Like the more that they talked about anorexia on the news, the more people were anorexic. They have the same thing with the transformer people in the past little bit. As they started reporting on it, more and more kids started to identify as it, because they're just gathering all of this data to show that if we suggest something, people will go out and do it. So that's one part of it, is how it was a big conformity experiment. The other thing, like you put your masks on and whatnot, and then they tried different angles to see what it was that would get people to do it, whether it's, at one point they were saying masks don't keep you safe, they keep other people safe. So it's because so that way you can't just walk around outside and be like, well, I don't care if I get sick. Well, it's not about you now. You're infecting other people. But if you sit there and you think about it, if it could prevent something from going out, it would also be able to prevent it from going in. That doesn't make sense. And if this other person's wearing a mask, then I can't get them sick. So why does it matter if I do? So, but you're not allowed to ask those things again, but still they just want to see what it was that people would go along with. Like they had the thing in the restaurant, you could walk into the restaurant, you had to have the mask on. While you sit at the table, you could take it off, but if you get up to use the bathroom, you have to put it on. Now, if you think about it, this doesn't make any sense because it's air. It's not how air works. It's everywhere in the air. So if you're in there without it, you're in there without it. It doesn't make a fucking difference, but there were so many people who were convinced, yes, all of these things are true. Everything that you're saying makes perfect sense. And this is exactly what it is that we must do to stay safe. And they just get all of this data from all of these random things to see.
I would see people driving around in their car by themselves. You know what I'm about to say, man. Like, yo, Jay, what do we, hold on, man.
Hold up. Even crazier. I would see couples, like a man and a woman, walking through a store, one wearing a mask and one not. I'm like, what's the point of this?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
It doesn't even make any sense. Like if you believe this works, then the fact that one of you isn't wearing it means that neither of it is ridiculous.
What are you doing in the car by yourself with the mask on, though, dog? What are we doing? Jay, what is that? Hold on. I'm sorry. Now, there's no intellectual way I can fucking break this down. Why the fuck are you in the car by yourself? And it's not one instance I've seen this.
No, this was lots of people.
And look, I'm not gonna lie. Since we talking about this shit, when that shit just happened, the pandemic, I watch a lot of movies, man. So when I'm going to the grocery store, I had bought one of them shields and shit. I'm looking like RoboCop. I'm looking like, hey Jay, man. Hey, if this the end, man, I'm gonna go out. Shit, I don't give a fuck. I'm a survivor, right? So I'm like, man, listen, y'all ain't used to going through this fucking chaos. I'm used to it, so I had this shit ready. I had the fucking top to bottom. I'm covered in fucking this fucking armor with the fucking shield and shit. I'm walking through the store like, hey man. But then when I thought about it, a couple of days, I'm like, that don't make sense. 6 feet. Well, that don't make that mass. That don't make sense, Jay. And then when I started seeing people driving around in the car about it, I said, "All right, nah, yeah, no." So I only say that to say, I only said that to say, even with the Ash experiments, and people knowingly know the right answer and being a little iffy to perform the right answer or to give the right answer, that to me that's the key of the experiment, right? Because if the strong don't protect the weak, if there's no strong, or if the strong is too afraid, or if you make the strong afraid to protect and serve,
If you
like
convince
hold
the
on,
strong people that strength is toxic,
how can we perform our daily duties and help you? And it's crazy when the weak are the ones cheering. I don't toxic, but then you want a firefighter to arrive and address. You want to like what? Hold on, wait a minute. What are we? I'm
so
spitballing here, Jay.
the interesting thing with this is with the whole strength and the toxicity thing, what they've convinced people of is interesting, because if you look at people don't really think this through. Like, you hear people talk about how it's not necessary to be all of this, it's not necessary to be strong for this, it's not necessary to be armed and prepared for all of these things, but essentially, if you look at, say you have like 5 houses on the street and all 4 houses on the street got broken into, but yours didn't because you have a bunch of weaponry and protection and whatnot. And then the people inside of the house eventually saying, well, no one's broken into our house, so we don't need all of this weaponry. But not realizing no one's broken into the house because of the weaponry. This is a preventative. But they've now convinced people that because no one's broken into the house, it's okay to get rid of the weapons.
Crazy to me. Crazy. And I want to go into something else, right? Because last week, we talked about freedom and what a freedom is, and I didn't read a lot of the comments. I think we posted something. I didn't read a lot of the comments, but I did see kind of glare at a couple of them briefly. And I want to explain something to the people why we don't debate. Hey, yo, I'm not going to debate you for your freedom, motherfucker. Like, I'm telling you should. I'm telling motherfucker you could be free, and the motherfucker arguing me to why he can't be.
No, I can't. Okay.
I'm a slave. These are the reasons. Here, I'm a slave, and these are the reasons why I am enslaved and why I'm going to stay a slave. You are fighting for your chains and your shackles, and I'm not debating with you, dog. You fighting for the marks and the whips on your back. Hey man, hey Toby, I'm not debating with you, Toby. Jay, I'm just saying. I just want to throw that in. You know why I threw that out there, Jay? I want to get your opinion on something. Speaking on slaves and freedom, and when we say slaves, we don't mean whips and chains slaves. As you may know it, we're talking about people who are mentally, spiritually, in a lot of cases physically enslaved, but mostly mentally. And you mentioned that you want to speak about America being a slave colony, and I just no better example, right? Is people fighting for fucking chains and shackles. Like, why do you want to argue with me if I'm telling you listen, man, if through consistency and consistency and hard work and of course timing and a lot of things, and just being the best version of yourself, right? These are things you could use to try to become free. And you want to argue with me about why you can't be free. So I'm sorry, Jay. This is baffling. So again, what's your take on that, man? People fighting for their fucking chains, America being a slave. Because come on, I mean, just look at it,
man. All right, I have several thoughts, but I'm gonna start at the end and work my way backwards. So I say America is a slave colony because, so if you sit at the outside looking in, right? Everyone is born, you're given this little number, your social security number, and then a few years later, they send you off to school to break your spirit and get you used to being obedient and blindly following along to somebody's instructions. Then you go off to college. They encourage you to go to college where you get into hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt that you're going to pay off for the entirety of your life. And after you get out of college, you get a job and you get a house. You're supposed to get a loan that you're also supposed to pay off for the next 30 years. You get a car loan that you're supposed to pay off for the next some amount of years. And now you just owe all of this money and you have to go to your employer to make this money and then pay taxes on the money that you make to the other people. And you make the employer money and he makes money for the government, and everyone's, well, the government, right? Everyone's money all goes to kind of the same entity. Again, they say it's the government. Who it actually is, who knows? Doesn't really matter. But there isn't any real path that you could take in this country where you are truly, truly free. You either get to be a slave or you get to be a plantation owner. Like, you could go out and you could build up the corporations and whatnot, and then you're exempt from certain taxes and exempt from having to pay certain things, as long as you keep recruiting people to farm them for their resources, being their time, so that what it is that they produce can go off to the government and the powers that be. And if you look at even the way that people are taxed, right? So the government takes a cut of your money whenever you make the money. You go to the store to buy food, and then they take a cut of your money when you go buy the food, and they take a cut of your money off of every single thing it is that you do. And you're just giving away all of your resources to all of these various entities that get funneled towards the top. And it's not forced slavery, but it is slavery that you sign up for nonetheless. Because if you want a house, and if you want to be able to eat food, you owe money forever. You will that's never going to be free to you, no matter what it is that you do. You have to work for that forever. And yeah, there's homeless people, but I think that the homeless people are just kind of allowed to exist as an example to everybody else, to say, well, this is your alternative. You can either work for us and keep giving us all of your resources, or you could be homeless. You could live outside. You could be dirty and starve to death. And this is kind of your fate here, where they ask, why are homeless people allowed to continue being homeless? Because they're an example to you, to say, make sure you work and pay your fucking dues, boy. So, and then again, the other path, yeah, you could go start your business, but then really you're a plantation owner with a slight bit more freedom. But not really, because you still owe money. You still owe taxes on all of the other stuff. Yeah, they don't take your direct business income, but you buy more expensive things, and then you give them more money when you do that. You have more expensive houses, so you pay more expensive property taxes. You take more expensive flights, drive more expensive cars, so you pay more expensive taxes on all of these things. And then they also go advertising all over the rest of the world, right? The American dream. So everyone else comes here to just add into all of this as well. So they have the people come from all different countries, and they come here to live out their dreams, to chase and go after what it is that they want, so that they can extract resources from these people as well. Because once you're an American citizen, even if you move somewhere else, you still owe America taxes. As long as you have an American citizenship, you could go live in fucking Europe. You still owe America money. You go live in Mexico. You still owe America money, as long as you have your citizenship. And they have the people who come here illegally wanting to do stuff, and then they get here and then they're trapped. They can't leave. They can't go anywhere. And even for all of your freedom, even for all of our freedoms, we can't leave the country without a little booklet that says you're allowed to go. And then when we go, we have a time limit. You could go for 14 days. You could go for a month. You could go for 3 months, but you got to come back, because we need your money. And this is what it is that you do.
To that point, hold on, let me ask my wife, hey Mo, how long, because we live out the country, how long does it take for our citizenship to, when we are away from the US? So even when you don't live in the US, you have to fly back every 6 months.
Just to check in. How is that not probation?
Just to check in.
How is that not probation?
I'm like, wait, what? You mean I can't leave? Like, I gotta come check in? That's where they own everybody in this motherfucker, right? And the part of the brilliance of it is that no one's forced to do anything. You're free to step off of the path that they show you, right? But you see what happens to the people who drop out to do other stuff. They get ridiculed. And everyone thinks they're a loser. They get made fun of, and people sit there and talk about it. And then they pop back up years later successful, and everyone calls them a cheater. And everyone calls them a liar and a scammer and all of this other stuff. So you're still discouraged from stepping off of the path. It's subtle, but it's there. And the fact that they allow people to step off of the path and succeed just allows them more to say, look, you could do whatever it is that you want. You could go do whatever. Because they did it, but they know that the vast majority of people aren't going to do it. And they make sure of it with all of these little conformity experiments, right? Where everyone else is doing this, you should do it too. Otherwise, you will be ostracized, you will be shunned, and that will suck. And I thought about that, right? I often think about that because, and it's a grim realization, but a true one. So when I even speak about freedom, understand that I know there are limits to what freedom is, and everyone has different definitions, but we have ours. But
freedom
like
is relative.
You said, yes, but like you said, there is no such thing, especially in the US.
Nope.
So even if, for instance, I'm an independent artist and I could travel the world and do my job from anywhere in the world, but I still, at the end of the day, if I want my music distributed, I still have to answer to a distributor. So even like, for instance, look at Kanye, right? He can't make a song named Hail Hitler.
They stripped it from everything.
So how free are you? That's what I'm trying to, like, that. I guess I know
everything.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but thinking that was the point of him doing it. If it wasn't, it did prove a point to me that you can't say anything you want to say, right? And you're not totally free. There's no even. I own my house. Statements like that.
They will take it.
You don't own anything. You don't own shit.
The thing is, at the end of the day, you don't own anything that you can't fully defend, right? Like, you could be as fortified in your house as you want, but if the military comes, they're taking your house. That's what's happening,
right?
Because there's not, you don't have the volume. And again, this is another reason they have the two-party system, right? Because they keep everybody divided right along the middle. Because if everyone came together, I've said before, if everyone in the country decided we're only paying 10% taxes would only be 10%. Because what are you going to do? If everyone in the country decided either college was free or you don't need college, that's what it would be. And companies would be forced to start hiring and training people because that's what everyone decided. If they said we're not participating, but they have everyone divided down the middle. So everyone's split in half, right? And one side is blaming the other side for all of the problems. So this side thinks taxes are high because of this side thinks college is expensive because of this, all of this dumb shit. So everyone's sitting there fighting amongst each other, trying to get someone else to make some change for them rather than coming together and being able to make this change themselves. And that's another part of the slavery right there. And the same thing along the way too. You have all of these little narratives, right? You have all of this little mental health stuff. If you're sad, you need drugs, and then you're just a slave to the pharmaceutical company. You can't help it if you eat too much food. Now you're a slave to the agricultural industry and the medical industry. So it's all of these little ways to keep you trapped. And then they go and they tell you about the history, which is all made up probably. And they tell you how
most likely.
Exactly. They tell every single individual group how they have some sort of shortcomings and something they can't overcome. And they say to the black people, look at all these things that happened to you. And this is why you can't do anything now, they say subtly. To the Mexicans, they came here and took your land. And now you're over here down there. And the fucking white people are Nazis and all of the, everyone has their own little oppression narratives to subscribe to believe that they can't do anything. And now, like we were talking about before, we will say, you can work hard and achieve whatever it is that you would like to achieve, which, regardless of the level of freedom that will grant you, is a fact. You can work hard and achieve whatever it is that you would like to achieve. We are not stating otherwise. We are just observing the world as a whole and how things work and how things break down. But the thing is, you can work hard and achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, whether that's a good body, whether that's a good bank account, whether that's whatever the case may be. But these dumb fucks have been so heavily conditioned that they will pop up and say, what do you mean I am free? No, I'm not. And we will say, look, there's no fence in front of you. And they will respond back and say, look, let me tell you about how big that fence was in the 1950s, like fucking idiots, because they somehow have been brainwashed so heavily that they think that they are the intelligent ones, and they are the ones that are really aware of what it is that's happening, because they see shackles that nobody else can see, not understanding that the reason those shackles are there is because they believe them to be. And you're not even going to try because you've hallucinated fucking chains onto your feet, and you think you're a fucking genius, and you think that you're fucking brilliant. And you know what? This made me think of a thing, because we'll post something like that about freedom and how you can do whatever it is that you want to do all the time, and you're not being held back because of X, Y, Z. And invariably, some dipshit will pop up and talk about how this is coonery. You're being coons talking about this.
Crazy.
Here's the thing, you dumb fuck. You are the one who is doing what it is that you are accusing us of doing, because you are pushing the narrative to people that they cannot get better. When you run around pushing this oppressor, white supremacy, everyone is holding you down shit, you're doing what you think that they are doing with your stupid fucking stories. Have you ever seen the movie The Village, the M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
They're all in the house in the middle of the forest, and the motherfucking village elders are saying, yo, it's monsters and shit in there. Don't go in there. So nobody goes in the fucking forest because they don't want to get eaten by the monsters. But there ain't no fucking monsters. And you are the dumb fucks sitting there trying to be all woke and fucking activists and shit, telling everyone that there's monsters in the forest. And you are the reason that people are not walking into the forest. Ain't no fucking monsters out there, my friend. You're free to travel into the trees. But you are actively preventing people from doing that, thinking that you're spreading some sort of knowledge. This is disempowerment, dipshit.
What's the gain? And what is the gain? I don't understand the gain for most of these people. Me and my wife was talking about Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton. I think it's Al Sharpton. God. Was it Al Sharpton? That motherfucker, he's out fucking doing fucking standing up for some, I don't, like, dog, what are you fucking doing, dog? Like, y'all listen to these motherfuckers, man? Do y'all listen to these motherfuckers telling you can't be shit or you can't do shit? You are held back for X, Y, and Z reasons. And you got two motherfuckers that come from nothing telling you, yo, you could be something, man.
But they ignore those. Every single one of them, they ignore. Every single person says you can be something.
Where are the coons, though? Like,
for saying you could be better. But the thing is, this is what y'all don't even sit here and realize. You're sitting there talking about everyone else just trying to tap dance for massa and shit. You're the one telling the world that massa is all powerful and there's nothing that you can do. You're the one saying that you need massa to let you free. And without that, you can't do anything. And we're saying, no, that's not the fucking case. You're in your way. Who the fuck is cooning here? The fuck are you talking about?
I don't know, man. It's just,
who is talking black empowerment shit? Is it the motherfucker saying we can't do anything without the approval of the white man? Or is it us who's saying you could be whatever the fuck you want to be no matter what?
Want to be. And can't nobody stop you. Can't nobody get in your way.
Who's talking empowerment?
I mean, I don't know,
come the fuck on.
I get frustrated. I get frustrated.
You're retarded. This is what.
Straight up.
This is why you're all fucking failures, because you are determined to be fucking victims, determined to be. And you have lied, and you have fallen for this bullshit narrative that anybody who has a problem with you is trying to hold you down. This is what you defend: ignorance and fucking criminality, and then wonder why people don't like you.
Come on, man.
The fuck are you talking about?
They find comfort in these words that they're using, man.
You want
these ideologies that they're thinking. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. We're telling you, fuck comfort. Fuck being comfortable. Comfortable don't add up to growth. Be uncomfortable. We are the subjects in the Ash experiment telling you, nah, that's not the right answer. This is the right answer.
Orange, not an apple.
Yeah.
Not what they're saying it is. It's what the fuck is. They're lying to you. Exactly. Y'all sitting here talking about this comfortable shit. We're over here saying, yes, there's a fence. The fence is high. The fence is sharp. You will get cut, but you won't die climbing it. So go ahead and climb it. And you're over here sitting saying, nah, it's way too high. It's gonna hurt. It's high. They need to come get rid of the fence. Fuck you. No, they don't. Climb it. You'll get some scars, such as life.
Yeah. Hey, look. Be soft and broke. What the fuck you want to? I don't give a fuck.
This is the thing, man. If you want to be a fucking failure, nobody's going to stop you. You said the thing about people wanting to debate. I have gotten recently some random people who want to pop up and say, I will debate this with you. That's fine. But who the fuck are you? This is the thing. Who are you? Because we're gonna see if one of us responds to one of you people and engages in conversation, you have accomplished something because we've spoken to you. And I don't know about you, but I am not sitting here to be fucking charity and just waste my time talking to you nobody motherfuckers because you want somebody to acknowledge you. It doesn't fucking matter. Well, there's no victory in debating you. There's no point to this because you are not a person. If you are not a person, then who fucking cares? Here's the thing. Maybe back in the 80s, there was some random person on the corner who could beat up Mike Tyson, but you think Mike Tyson was going to fight that motherfucker? No, because he hasn't qualified himself to get into the arena. If you regular ass people, you see some random crazy homeless person on the corner screaming and yelling about aliens who wants to debate you, are you going to waste your time arguing with him? No, because that's ridiculous. You are the dirty homeless person in this scenario, people who want to debate us. The fuck out of here.
Belittle these motherfuckers, man. They need some belittlement.
Become somebody. If you want to debate, become somebody. Matter. If you matter, man. I'm happy. We can go back and forth with this shit all day if you are somebody, but you're fucking not. This is a waste of time. Would fucking Jay-Z say, just for clarity, my presence is charity. I have gifted you something by allowing you to see what the fuck it is that I have to say. You have done the exact same thing. Y'all motherfuckers are just sitting here staring up at some shit and you want to partake. No, you're not worth that.
What Jay say? If you kill me, you famous.
If I kill you, I'm brainless.
Yeah, right. Like
this is what it is.
What I get out that?
The crazy thing is people will sit here, pop up and tell me that I'm arrogant. How arrogant must you be to think that I just automatically give a fuck? I challenged you to a debate. So?
We talked about competition. We talk about it.
You are not the appropriate level of opposition.
Pick your ops wisely. Pick your ops wisely, man. Like, yeah, even if you want to debate Jay, right? You want to debate Yoda, even if he fucking hands you a new asshole, which is gonna happen.
Which is what's going to happen.
Then what?
Nothing. Then basically what I have done is walked outside and swatted a fly. Ooh. Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's that bad. Talk that fly swatter shit.
Motherfucker, this is and the fucking arrogance of people. The arrogance to sit there and feel like you can like your opinion is of any degree of relevance. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, you know who we are. We don't know who you are. That should tell you everything that you need to know.
It's
I'm
crazy.
not watching you. I'm not reading the shit that you have to say.
Look, I love the people and I love my fans and all that, and I love the fans of the show. Game within the game.
1,000%.
I love the rap fans. I love the Ransom fans. I love the Jason Lamar fans. I love it all, right?
One of them.
But this motherfucker was in my DM. I just over my DM. Motherfucker had like, I hate to out people like this, but it just caught me off guard. Motherfucker had like 262 followers or some shit, even though, following doesn't matter to me, but motherfucker had like 262 followers. And his approach, and I open all and I answer everyone. His approach was wild to me. He was like, "Yo, man, I just started my page. We need to do an EP together." The fuck? You just started? You shoot for the stars, man. Hey man, I commend you. I just started. I just got it going. I just got things going. I got a couple hundred followers. I just started rapping. Just started my rap career. We need me and you. You've been rapping for what, 25, 30 years? We need
just now.
Motherfucker ain't even asked for a 16. We need a whole situation.
That's crazy. We need to record 5 songs together and be on the cover or something. Like what?
You talk about shooting your shot.
Yeah.
No, let me just I didn't answer the person back. Let me just answer it on the show. No.
So, okay, here's the thing, man. A lot of these things that people have are coping mechanisms. Yes, having a following doesn't mean that you're somebody.
Nope.
But it is very, very difficult in the world today to be a somebody who nobody knows. You would have to exert a lot of effort to actually do that. Like you would have to make a concerted effort to be unknown if you were somebody worth knowing today.
Like a spy or some shit. For real, man. Even the spies are now got podcasts and shit.
This is what I'm saying. Like mafia dudes with podcasts.
Right. Come on.
Right. Fucking Samuel Bull got a podcast. What are you talking about? So for you to be somebody on social media with 5 followers and act like you're still somebody of relevance. Again, I'm not specifically sitting here trying to talk shit because everyone running around on Instagram isn't trying to be somebody famous or run around acting like some people just want to participate in conversations and see what's going on and support people that they like. And that's fucking amazing, man. I'm not saying that everybody needs to have some degree of following, but if you were going to act like somebody who should have a following, then you should have some degree of following.
Hey, AJ, should we be giving these people credit? Some of these guys credit for shooting a shot? Should we give them a little credit or like what we doing here? Should we? It takes some cojones to jump out the window like that. Delusion. We talk about delusion a lot on this show.
Delusion, and see, I don't know. Me personally, I feel like this sends the wrong message because then they're just like, I could just say this shit to all these random motherfuckers. Eventually, it's gonna work, and then you wind up with some like Takashi type situation.
Right.
We fucking went and created that shit, but it's like, yeah, y'all got at some point in time, man, you have to realize where it is that you are in life, and you also need to accept that believing that not having certain things doesn't matter is an ego thing. For you the amount of ego that you have to be like, yeah, I'm somebody important and amazing, but nobody knows who I am is absolute fucking insanity. And I see all kinds of shit on social media and stuff that I don't fucking care for, right? It'd be people with 5 million some odd followers. It's like, I don't like any of this shit. But for me to also then turn around and say that because I don't like it, it's nothing or no one does, or you're not somebody who matters is arrogance and delusion. It's ridiculous. Like, you don't have to fuck with everything, right? But if enough people fuck with something, then that thing is something that matters, and no matter how it is that you feel about it. I don't watch SpongeBob, but millions of people do. Therefore, SpongeBob matters in some capacity in this world.
Yeah, we talk about the young influencers or the young streamers all the time.
I think a lot of this, I think a lot of the shit they do is ridiculous, but they matter. They play a large role in somebody's life. There are some people who oh God, what was it? It is one of them. Their name is Letters. It's a black dude. He's a streamer and his name is Letters. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just don't know who the fuck he is. He streamed for like the thing where he streamed for like 24 hours straight for like a week, and he got dozens and hundreds of thousands of people watching this at all points in time. And that's absolute insanity to me, because I can't imagine you're doing anything productive. But the fact that you were able to command that level of attention is fucking impressive as hell. And that's commendable, period.
That makes me wonder, right? I know this is totally off subject. Not really. But in regards to getting hundreds and thousands of people just to watch somebody sitting around playing video games or whatever the fuck they do, do you think it could get hundreds of thousands of people to sit around for 24 hours straight doing something positive, watching something informative, or maybe watching somebody do a workout for 24 hours, or run a marathon, or read 100 books or some shit. I don't know, something
productive and beneficial, right?
Do you think it could get somebody, or hundreds of thousands of people to sit down in their seat and watch this for 24 hours the way you can get a bunch of kids to watch somebody sit in front of a camera and just talk gibberish and yell and scream? And because I've watched, I have daughters, so I've watched this a couple of times. I just hear a lot of screaming and carrying on, and kids being kids. And not to insult them, I'm 46 years old, so I don't understand a lot of it. But it just made me wonder, do you think that hundreds of thousands of people or youngsters would sit around and watch something informative? Is it possible?
Man, so quite honestly, I think that the type of people who would watch something productive and personal development-y for 24 hours don't exist, because the type of people who would get something from that wouldn't spend 24 hours watching someone else do push-ups.
That was my point.
It is interesting the type of things that people will dedicate themselves and their time to, right? Like, people are happy to sit around and watch somebody else play video games, or watch somebody else play basketball, or even watch other people get ready and shave their fucking face and put on their clothes, right? But they don't want to do these things themselves. And these are the same people who will complain about the way that the system is set up and the amount of money that they make and what it is that jobs pay, and they can't find these other opportunities or anything along those lines, which is absolutely baffling, because all of the time that you're using to do fucking nothing, really, to just entertain yourself with other people's entertainment, could be used towards bettering yourself. It could be used towards learning something. It could be used towards building yourself up. It could be like there's people who sit there and watch bodybuilders work out who don't work out. And that's absolute fucking insanity to me, right? Because it's like, clearly you want to be in shape, so why don't you go get in shape? Clearly you want to be strong, so why don't you go get strong? It's on an even crazier level, quite honestly, is people who watch people play video games but don't play video games themselves. That's nowhere near as productive, but it's like, you can do this. But I think that speaks to the fact that there are so many people who would rather just live their lives through other people than ever do anything themselves. Like, if you look at the way they have a lot of video games and shit set up, people go through video games and live them just like real fucking life. Like, people have better lives in Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever the fuck than they do in their own life. They have all of these cars and they're in shape and they have all these nice clothes and these big ass houses and shit, and they talk to women, but they don't do this in real life. But like, you could do every single one of these things for real. All of these things that obviously you can't just drive up the street shooting at people and it'd be okay.
Well,
but
you can.
That's what I'm saying, and just be okay. But like, by and large, you can do these things yourself if you dedicate yourself to it. And quite honestly, I would argue that, I'm not 100% certain of this, but I would argue that the amount of time that it takes you to get to the absolute top of the fucking online Grand Theft Auto leaderboard, money having house, whatever the fuck thing, you'd be able to do that in real life in the same amount of time. Like, you could dedicate yourself like that for that amount of time and do the same exact shit.
Yeah, there's probably a collective of people that could get that, gain that in that amount of time. I'm not sure that a lot of people can, especially the people we're dealing with and the people we're talking to, Jay, and the people we're going back and forth. Well, not going back and forth with, but I'm not sure, Jay. Like I'm starting to lose hope for humanity a little bit. But
I mean, that's not unreasonable, unfortunately.
yeah, no, I'm starting to lose hope, and we are doing our part doing this show and taking the time out of our busy schedules just to talk the truth, or the truth as we know it, and but it does get frustrating, and to speak on that a little bit more, to lighten that load or lighten the subject. I see. I'll be watching you on Threads, man. And it's crazy because I got this. I don't know if you can see this. I didn't want you to think this is nail polish.
Oh, it looked like a fucking bruise or something. Like you done fucked your hand up.
Yeah, let's go with that then. Yeah, let's go with that. It ain't, but it's not fucking but it's not nail polish and shit. I'm not a fucking sissy, right? Yeah, but I seen on Threads, and I was, sometimes I'm like, I get a kick out of watching people come at you. I'm like, yo, I love it, actually. I'm like, yeah, get them, attack them. Because let's be honest, since we've been doing this podcast, before we was doing this podcast, people were taking a little light on you. I didn't see too many people attacking you. And I was like, okay, watch this, Jay. They're about to get on your ass. And I see now people are like, man, fuck that. They on your ass. I think you said something like,
I said men who cry because they're sad are basically women.
Man, why did you do that?
Because it's what I fucking think. He's like,
and I'm like, they about to get his ass. They about to. I mean, I agree with you, but there are so many instances where you can come up. Let's call it gray area. There's so much gray area that, of course, people came up with a whole bunch of gray area on instances where it's okay, and I'm like, that's not what he's saying, dog. Like, you don't understand. First of all, there's something called, being satirical and comical and half truth, and like, yo, dog, if your mama just got shot, yeah, like, you're probably gonna shed a tear or two. Like, oh, you stop coming up with these instances where, of course, dog, we're not talking about that. You're talking about if you get a little, if you in your feelings and you sitting on the couch sad and shit and you start crying like a bitch, you a bitch. Straight up and down. Like, that's what I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but that's what you're saying. Like, yo, just being sad and crying for no reason, you being soft, dog.
Man,
stop coming up with these fucking instances where you're trying to prove somebody wrong.
Just because but see, this is the thing though, right? And the way that people reacted kind of just proved the point that I was making, because some people responded with these absolute far out. My paralyzed brother fell down the stairs and broke his neck and died in my arms, so I cried. Like, no shit, man. I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking. I was at war and my whole family was murdered while I was away, and I came home and found them all dead. I can't cry. No, I'm not talking about. Like, what are you talking about? Clearly, this is not what I mean. This is the most ignorant fucking shit ever. I am talking about the motherfucker who sits around, like you said, just crying because you saw a sad movie, so you cry, or you had a rough day, or you just got an argument with your girlfriend, so you sit there fucking crying, or you're like, man, remember when I was 12, this was real sad. Like, that type dumb shit. Not like my mother just got shot in a drive-by. Like, I can cry. Yes, I'm not talking like nobody's talking about you. But the thing is, everyone who thinks that's what I mean isn't crying only because of that. Yeah. Because if this is why you were crying, you understand what I mean. Right. If you cry over real things, you understand the point that I'm making. Right. And also, I don't care what anybody says. If you cry if you are a man and you cry because your mother died, and you also cried because you got into a car accident, you crying over your mother's death means much less. Your tears have no value if you will shed them for everything. Period.
Especially a man, right?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about men here. Right. I mean, to some degree, to women too. Yeah, if you fucking spill your orange juice and cry,
right,
and shit like that, then you're kind of devaluing when you cry. But by and large, yes, I'm talking about men. If you cry over everything, your tears have no value anymore. So if you go to cry, it should be over something real. Yeah, you lose your good friend, a fucking child, a family member, a fucking beloved pet, whatever the case may be. You want to shed some tears? Cool, that's fine. But you had a hard day, or you got a motherfucking flat tire, or you just saw a movie, or you were just thinking about something real sad from years ago and you just break down crying, or you're having a tough argument and you say, no, all of this devalue, your tears should mean something, period. Because if somebody sees me cry, then they understand there's a good reason for it. Nobody has to be like, oh, was it just really cold outside today and you ain't bring a jacket? Like, some of y'all motherfuckers. Like, if you cry every time you were sad, you are a bitch. Period. And you have zero emotional control and zero emotional regulation. And people say this thing about, well, I'm sorry, I have emotional intelligence. If you cry every time that you are sad, you do not have emotional intelligence. You have the exact opposite. You are emotional. And people have confused this idea that because they express their feelings a lot, they have emotional intelligence. By this exact same logic, if I get mad and punch someone in the face, that's emotional intelligence, because I'm just expressing how it is that I feel. I'm not bottling it up. I don't want to bottle it up. And my anger makes me want to hit him. And when I talk to my girlfriend and she says big words and I get confused, I scream at her because I'm emotionally intelligent, and that's how I express myself. It's fucking bullshit. It's nonsense.
I've been hearing that word lately. Emotional intelligence. Oh my God. These phrases you motherfuckers come up with, and they're all comforting little innuendos you guys come up with to feel good about being soft.
That's a fact, though.
That's fucking what it's fact. About. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Emotional intelligence is emotional control and emotional regulation.
Stoicism. So when we say stoicism, they get mad at us. That's the height
of emotional intelligence right there, period.
Right there.
I go outside, you make me mad, I understand that I'm mad, I acknowledge that I'm mad, and I don't smack you in the face. That's emotional intelligence.
How intelligent? That is the most... You acting like an idiot, me knowing you're an idiot, and not treating you as such.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. If a liar lies to me, I'm not surprised, not angry. It's a fucking liar. If a thief steals, I don't say, "Oh,
what did you expect?"
That's emotional. I mean, by the definition of the word, I don't even use this type of verbiage on a day-to-day basis. I don't go to my wife and say, "Hey, I want to practice some emotional intelligence today." Like, who the fuck talks like that?
Fruitcakes and weirdos and therapy addicts.
Yeah, them influences, man. Them influences with the tight Beijing leaking onto their forehead and the shiny skin and the motherfucker, the fake gold chains and the fake pimping, like
the shit that they always sitting there talking about being healed and their inner child. Yeah. Fuck your inner child. I hate that shit. I hate that fucking saying. I hate that shit. Yeah. Every single one of them. Fucking charlatans. All of that bullshit, who are just sitting there telling you these buzz. I cannot stand that shit. I hate this inner child shit. It's like, this is just you, man. Shut the fuck up. This is just a part of your person. Shut up. Shut
inner
up.
child. What the
You're not
fuck
unhealed.
Does that mean?
It's all of this nonsense. You're not healed because you haven't healed. Shut the fuck up. Like, goddamn. I'm not a bitch. I've not been walking around with open wounds for years. Yeah, something hard happened to me once, and then it stopped happening, and I no longer cared about it. Like, what are you talking about?
That's it.
This is what you can do. It's very simple. And the annoying thing is that people have with all of these stupid little healing journeys, you're going to go to therapy and you're going to spend years to simply do what we're saying to do now, which is think about it differently. Like that's all that's gonna fucking happen.
It.
That's all you're gonna do. This is not a long process. Your childhood was bad. Call it good now. Boom. Problem solved. Everything's fine. You're still here, right?
But you know
everything's good.
You know what therapy really is? These motherfuckers just be needing somebody to talk to, man. Y'all some lonely motherfuckers, man.
And they want fucking validation.
Validation. I'm sick, right? Or I miss my dad, right? Or
that's why I'm an alcoholic.
Right.
I do cocaine because I had a bad third birthday party, right? Of course. Everyone who had a bad third birthday party like you would do cocaine too. It's not your fault. Yeah, addiction's a disease.
Yeah. Y'all need some better people to talk to, man. And why not us? Why not us?
It would be cheaper and quicker.
Yeah, we're not insensitive.
So here's the thing. People call me insensitive. I'm a big believer that the motherfucker who tells you about you're fat because you have an eating disorder because of the way that you were brought up and the relationship that with food that you developed because of how your mother talked about it to you, that motherfucker is insensitive because all they did was give you a convoluted ass excuse. I'm very sensitive because I'm saying you're fat because you eat too much food, so stop that. I gave you a very direct and simple solution, and I actually want you to not be fat. I don't want you to feel good about the fact that you're fat. I want you to lose weight, motherfucker.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Jay. And a lot of these subjects and ideologies come up often in the show, right? But I want to get to that point you just made. And how people want to hear it in a nice way, and you're insensitive, and you say these, yo, dog, I can't tell you what needs to be done in the way you want me to tell you. It's gonna be harsh. The truth is a bully that everybody pretends they want to like, but when they come across this bully, they hiding. But guess what? Look, and I had a discussion with my wife, right? About being nice. Nice is a fucking act. That's why they say, oh, that guy acts nice. But here's the thing. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, he's acting. You know, it's what everyone does. Everyone. When you go outside, everyone's acting. Everyone, right? Me, you, everybody's acting accordingly. Oh, you gotta act nice, right? So to say that you're special because you act nice, you're not, right? That doesn't mean you're good. You're just acting nice at the surface level. That's okay, right? You're being cordial, whatever the case may be, right? But if you hang around someone or you're around someone long enough, that act doesn't become an act anymore, Jay. What happens? Sometimes people forget their act. Sometimes people forget. Oh, I was supposed to be acting nice. And you get the real person. Oh, what the fuck just happened, Jay? Oh, you get the real person. If you hang around that person long enough, you will see the true person. They'll drop the act for half a second and be like, yeah, no, I see you.
But that's not me. I'm sorry.
That's not me.
I was out of character.
Yeah, here we go.
No. You're just not pretending now.
You're not pretending, and that's where I want you. Now we can be friends. Now we can, at least we can have a discussion. I don't want to go too far and say we can be friends. We can't be friends. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, though, Jay, right? Like now we can have a discussion.
Stop with all this fake bullshit and back in the day, nice used to mean simple. But this is the thing that they have, and this is Jay, another way that.
Wait, I need to know. I need you to know something. What's your definition of simple?
Stupid.
Yeah, talk that shit. I want to get it out. Yeah, I want to hear
Y'all
it.
Motherfuckers are dumb. But this is the thing, though. This is another way that they control all of these people, right? With the idea that the best way to operate is to just constantly tell everybody what it is that they want to hear. So you got motherfuckers asking, do I look fat in this? And people are sitting there saying, no, you look great. No, bitch, you look fat in this. You don't look good. Change your clothes. Put on a different t-shirt, my friend. Go do some push-ups. Look better. You're not smart. You're not, whatever the case may be. Like we gotta stop placating everybody. And this is the thing. Everybody wants to run around and be placated. And this is why nobody is able to get anywhere. This is why nobody can get in shape. This is why nobody can make money. This is why everyone still thinks they're a slave, is because they're just being told what makes them feel the best. And it makes them feel good to believe that they drink because somehow they inherited this disease from their grandfather who also drank. So now they have to go to the liquor store and buy bourbon and drink all of it, and they can't help it. Or they're fat because somehow their thyroid hormone has something to do with it, not the fact that they eat 14 cheeseburgers and 3 pizzas a day. Or they want to believe that they're poor because of where they were born and redlining and society, not the fact that they sleep till noon every day, then play video games and go to work for 6 hours and don't really do any work for the rest of it and only go out on the weekends and party and chase around random girls. That's not why they're poor. It's the system. They're being discriminated against, not because they're running around acting like idiots being loud out in public places, but because of systemic racism. Like these things make people feel good, and it's socially unacceptable to tell people that that's not the case. So because again, they just want everyone to run around and be placated. So they keep doing the things and they keep blaming everybody else for their problems. It's not their fault their house sucks. MAGA did it.
Hey Jay, I want to get your opinion on this. I already know the answer, man, but I just love the way you break these things down. And a lot of this stuff comes through discussions that I have in the house, my wife and kids, and I'm like, boy, I can't wait to bring this to Jace. I can't wait to bring this to Yoda. Profiling, right? Or stereotypes. Me and my wife was talking about, like, listen, if I see it, like, where do people get off thinking that if you see a crowd of belligerent Negroes that I'm not supposed to cross the street? Nigga, what? Or you see a crowd of belligerent hillbillies. I'm not supposed to profile them and say, no, I'm not. Yeah, no. So where do people get off thinking those people deserve not to be judged? Like, what? How do you survive in a world today by not judging? Like, are you fucking crazy?
This is the thing. This is one of these virtue signaling things that people say to try and make themselves sound like good people, even though it's stupid, right? Because if you take this into any other context, imagine you're a woman and you work at some store, you got to take the bus and you get off at 10 p.m. It's dark outside and you look over at the bus stop and it's some man standing there in a long ass trench coat and you can't see his face. Should you go sit beside that motherfucker or maybe not? Because maybe he's dangerous. If you're driving up the street and you see the same exact motherfucker sitting by the side hitchhiking, should you pick his ass up or maybe not? Because maybe he's a serial killer or a slasher movie villain. Then it's fine to stereotype, but they want to take it and make it into a different thing when it comes to some sort of race shit. It's fucking ridiculous. If you are an intelligent person, you stereotype because this is how you don't die, right? This is how people figured out that orange cats with stripes are going to murder you. They're not just like, well, those other 4 ate all of the villagers, but maybe this one's different. No, maybe he is, but you don't go fucking assume that because he looks exactly like the ones that murdered all of the rest of your fucking friends back in Asia in the 1800s or whatever. In the same exact thing, if you lived your life and every single person that you've seen with braids and tattoos has assaulted you, you would be a dipshit if you don't assume that maybe the next person will do that too. People say whatever they want. Stereotypes exist for a motherfucking reason. And lots of people walk around looking like what they know people to think criminals to look like and then get mad when people think they're criminals. You dressed up like this, dumbass. If you go put on a firefighter costume and someone comes up to you and says, "Can you put out this fire in my building?" They're not the one who's wrong. You are.
Yeah, Chappelle. Sure, that's a famous, or one of my favorite Chappelle jokes. You dress like a hooker. You dress like a hooker, but you're not a, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you dress like a
Yeah, it
policeman.
was,
If you're dressed like a
you might not be a
policeman,
whore, but you're wearing a whore's uniform.
right? You're like, come on, what are we doing? You can't, you can't talk to me like that, or you can't look at me like I'm a sex object.
Don't dress like one. Like, what are you talking? This is the thing that people have, man. We have this dumb shit nowadays where women want to go and run around half-ass naked and then get mad when they get looked at. You get your ass out in public. What are you talking about? This is your
Look
fault.
at me.
I'm not suggesting that this gives anyone the right to physically do anything. I'm just saying if you walk around outside naked and people look at you, that's on you. What do you want?
It's the same thing, Jay. It's the same thing as if I go in the, like, we're gonna put this down in layman terms for the hood. If I go into a pack of wolves in the project and I got $100,000 worth of jewelry on, and I say, you can't, you don't have any food, you don't know where you're gonna get your next meal, you don't know how you're gonna pay your rent, but you can't touch my jewelry.
It's mine.
It's mine, and I'm gonna get mad at you for taking my shit.
Here's
come on, if you look like food, don't dress like if you don't want to be food, don't dress like it.
So this is the thing. This is a great example. If I purchase $3 million worth of jewelry, that's my jewelry. I earned it. I worked hard for it. In a perfect world, I could wear this wherever it is that I would like. But if I was to do that in the world that we live in, and I was to go into fucking wherever the fucking hood in Miami is with all of this jewelry and I get robbed, right? Were these people wrong for taking my stuff? Yes. Was I wrong for going outside with it on, knowing that people might take my stuff? Also, yes. It is my own fault that I got robbed. They were wrong for robbing me, yes, because you shouldn't rob people. But I was also wrong for getting robbed, or for wearing it outside. It's my fault I got robbed. It's their fault they robbed me, but it's my fault I got robbed. Two things can be true. And we live in a world now where we want to act like people who are the victims of crimes are just infinitely innocent. And I remember back in the day, my dad used to watch fucking Investigation Discovery. And they was telling a story about some teenage girl who went missing. And they were like, she was always so nice and she was always hanging around in the low income areas and all of that whatnot. And then they're like baffled as to how this happened. It's like, well, why was she there all of the time? Maybe she shouldn't have been in those places.
Come on,
maybe
man.
That wasn't intelligent. Maybe you should have said, hey, child of mine, go hang out better fucking places because this is how bad things happen to you.
Look, Jay, if you really think about it, as I just did, or as I do often, you think about it like when it pertaining to crime and innocence, right? When is anyone truly 100% innocent, right? So it's like, I've done a lot in my time, and I've also claimed to be innocent sometimes. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have been there. I probably should have. I could have did things differently, but I will verbalize that I'm innocent. But no, in the back of my head, I always knew when there's a crime, very little time is anyone 100%. 100% innocent. Very few times is someone 100% innocent. Like, motherfucker didn't know what was going on and just got knocked over the head out of nowhere. Yeah, if somebody's getting robbed, or but if somebody just got knocked over the head for any reason, like, oh, what happened? Oh, he was just a good guy. He was a good guy. He was minding his business. He this and that. He didn't, like, very few times there's 100% innocence involved. I'm not saying it doesn't. Now, for the gray area people, of course this happens. Of course. I said, of course this happens, where somebody's 100% innocent and, just bonding.
We're talking about by and large, though.
By and large,
that's not what's happening.
But it's a shame that we have to break this down every time.
Because people just want to be fucking contrarians.
Yeah, this is for the contrarians.
These are the exact people who, well, what about the children in Gaza that are getting bombed? Shut the fuck up.
Right. Come on, we're not. Just stay with me, people. Stay with me, man. Just stay with me, right? Most of the time, there's no percentage with it, but most of the time, in a crime, no one's 100% innocent. Maybe 90,
Facts.
80, 70, 100%. Like, damn, most people be like, I probably shouldn't have went there. Probably shouldn't have did this. If I would have, that's why you have regrets. Damn, I shouldn't have did that. Damn. You know, man, I shouldn't have walked in there, or I could have did
I was
this
supposed
differently.
I was supposed to be home right now. Why did I even go out?
Yeah, yes. That's just because you're not 100% innocent. You played a part. I'm not saying crime is right, and here we go.
No, it's not. But this be the thing though. It'd be motherfuckers who will sit there and go surfing, get their leg bitten off by a shark, and be like, I just can't understand how this happened. Well, you're a fucking idiot, and you deserve to be shark food.
An innocent person got his leg bitten by like, no, cut it out.
But see, this is the problem with the world today, is that motherfuckers will cover themselves in blood, jump in the ocean, get attacked by sharks, and blame the shark for it, and be confused as to how that took place.
Come on,
and then get offended and call you racist if you say maybe you should have done something different.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Zero accountability.
Zero at all. And me, I know how to move, man. Jay, I know you know how to move. Most people do know how to move. If you see a pack of wild, belligerent, either hillbillies, Negroes, Mexican, I don't care what you see.
You avoid the motherfuckers.
I see tattoos on it. Hey, man, if you got tattoos on your face.
This be the thing. It'd be the motherfuckers who got their whole entire face tattooed with their hair sticking up like this, like motherfucking Marlon Wayans and Don't Be a Menace. And they'd be like, "Why I keep getting stereotyped? What the fuck you think? You look like a stereotype. What are you talking about?" Of course you're getting stereotyped. Look at you.
You got on a stereotype costume. Like you put it on in the morning. Every time you wake up in the morning, you zip it up. It's like, and how do you want to?
Like you dress like racial profiling. Like, what are you talking about?
and with this understanding, Jay, with this understanding, and I know people gonna coon us to death, but with this understanding, I now see like there are a collective of ethnicities that look at certain other ethnicities in a certain way, in a certain manner. If I've never come across a white person, and I just go off what I see or what I think they do, or if I've never come across an Asian who's never come across a black person, if he listens to 50 Cent or he watches TV, or if he sees somebody with tattoos on his face come into his store, hurry up and buy, motherfucker. Hurry up and buy. Yo, you got to get out. Because you're an animal, right? That's what he's thinking. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. This is just what he knows. He don't know no better, right? And you're not helping him. You're not helping him. Now, if I go into the store, right, and I conduct myself like a human being, and I'm not treated like a human being, now we might have a problem.
That's different.
But when does that happen? Very few times. If you conduct yourself like a human, yeah, exactly. So when you conduct yourself like a human being, most of the time you get treated like one, right? And I got tattoos. Jay got tattoos. We not saying, look, like I said, we came from nothing, and we telling you this. So I got I don't got them on my face though, but I got them on my neck and my arm. Look, yeah, it's just
mad tattoos.
But. Mad tattoos, but I can walk in any office building and conduct myself. No one's gonna look at me like a fucking. They may, but I will change their outlook as soon as I open my mouth. So
see, that's exactly that right there is the thing. And not only do I not act like an ignorant motherfucker walking around with tattoos on doing ignorant shit and know how to conduct myself, but if somebody was to look at me sideways because I had tattoos, I'm not going to blame them and be like, you're racist and a terrible person.
Right.
I can understand why you have this misconception. Now the problem comes if you're not willing to let me clear that up and or change it, or you hold the same thing, you hold the same belief after I demonstrate myself to be something other than what you thought. That's where the problem comes. But when you look at somebody and they look a certain way and you can draw certain conclusions, There's nothing wrong with that. That's life. If some random big white dude walks up to me wrapped in Confederate flags, I'm going to assume that he's racist, but maybe he's not.
Absolutely. Maybe he not. He got to prove
Maybe
himself.
he's not.
He got to prove himself. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So but only do we get mad about this type of shit and think that everything that is done should be acceptable and okay. And then call everything other than that racism and microaggressions and all of that shit. Then they want to. What's really annoying to me is when people are like, well, they want us to look like them, or we want to look different, or whatever, and they judge us. And like, in some capacity, this is how the world works. Like, you have to understand this, and there's a standard way, there's a standard operating system. And if you want to step outside that, that's fine. But you also have to understand that you're removing yourself from that. Like, if you want to tattoo the entirety of your face with a fucking squirrel fighting a fucking lizard, that's perfectly fine. That's your prerogative. But you have to know when you do that maybe a lawyer isn't going to give you a job at their firm. That's not the lawyer's fault. That's your fault. Now, does your face tattoo have any bearing on your ability to practice law? Probably not. But the fact of the matter is, most lawyers don't have their whole entire face tattooed. So if you do that and they don't want you, you have to understand why. So you can either accept that and pick a different path, or you could try and blaze your own and start your own fucking law firm and then try and go about it that way. Yeah. But they are not wrong for rejecting you. You are wrong for othering yourself. You are wrong for separating yourself from them. That's on you. And you need to understand that. They are not the hateful ones. You're just an idiot. And you're entitled.
Why don't people understand that? Why don't people look? There's certain things that come with the territory. Right? Every action is a reaction, right? If I do this, I'll get this.
Something happens.
Something happens. Look, I got a lot of tattoos, but when it came to the face, I thought about it.
Wasn't the way to go.
I could cover my neck up and cover my arms up. I might need my face to get in somewhere. I might
you never know. You never fucking know.
Every choice, life is about choices, right? Every choice has a fucking consequence or repercussion. And you have to think, right? And even when you're young, I got my tattoos young and in prison and all a bunch of stuff, right? And made a lot of wrong decisions. But even in those wrong decisions, I had the wherewithal and being able to discern, maybe I should stay away from my face. Maybe I should stay away from my face.
Motherfuckers now get the whole side of their shit blasted. They'll got no other tattoos. Like, I see where people get this whole entire neck shit. They'll got no other tattoos. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, why is this the only thing you tattooed?
And that's fine if you understand what comes with that.
But they don't. That's the thing. And this is, again, we are saying this is people with tattoos. So you can't even call this some form of bigotry or whatever the fuck it is that you would like. But when you do certain things, you have to take what comes with it. And this is fucking life. It'd be the same people who want to sit there and get mad about, well, you can't have your dreads in certain places. Like, okay, such is life, man. They don't want you to have no fucking dreads there. Does that affect your ability to do anything? No. But you also can't run around the world expecting people to change their fucking policies for you. Like,
that's like that shit you sent me with the Starbucks workers and shit. Fucking Starbucks wanted them to start wearing a uniform and shit, and these motherfuckers was out there marching.
Flipped out.
You're taking away my identity, our identity. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're there to work a job, right? They said to put on a fucking uniform. Put the fucking uniform on or quit.
That's your choices. Like, this is not your company. This is what people don't understand when they have these things, right? They say, well, without us, they couldn't operate. Sure, not you specifically, but some variant of you. You are absolutely correct. But without them, you would have nothing to operate. And that's the step that people miss out on. It's going back to the thing before. The house was safe because you had the guns. It doesn't mean that you could get rid of guns now that the house is safe. So they built the company. You're able to work there. But if they didn't build the company, you wouldn't be able to work there. Yeah, that's life.
You want to wear your own uniform or wear your fucking purple and orange hair to work and do all this other shit. You have to create your own business, and you could wear whatever the fuck you want.
The entitlement of people is absolute insanity. My freedom of expression. You're not here to express yourself and be a unique butterfly. You are here to serve coffee. Shut the fuck up.
That's it.
Brew it and serve it.
And part of that to me, Jay, when I seen that, part of me was like, these people want to be important. They want to feel like they're a part of something. They want to feel I have the power to do something about this. And look at the shit that we choose to band together and try to do something about. The fuck, bro? Come on, man. Starbucks uniforms, man. Come on, man. What are we doing, Jay? What are we doing?
Imagine if you dedicated yourself to something real.
Come on, man. One second. Hey, Mo. What was that skinny motherfucker Al Sharpton? What was he? The motherfucker got a shag and shit. 100 pounds that he got a shag. What they was out there protesting. My bad, Jay. I had to insult them.
Fuck it.
Oh, the 5-year anniversary of George. The 5-year anniversary of George Floyd. How is marching? Go out here. How is this helping anything? What do you? Al, cut the shag, cut the silky shag. That motherfucker is silky, ain't it? Cut that silky ass shag, right? Put on some clothes that fit. You're about $120 now. You know, you got healthy though. So I don't know if that's healthy. Kind of crazy, but lift some weights. Get in the gym, Al. Lift some weights. Why don't you march for something like health, obesity, literacy, financial literacy, or anything. Al, what are we bringing this back up? We talked about people living in the past, the 5-year anniversary. How is this helping anything? This motherfucker is called an activist. He's an activist marching about a 5-year anniversary about someone who was killed by the police. These are the things we are giving an anniversary for? I'm not. And now look, hold on for the gray area for the. I'm not. Forget to it. I'm not saying forget any. I'm just saying how is this helping, man? How is this helping?
Man, this is the thing we were talking about earlier. Like, the inability to say, this was a junkie. Should he have been killed? No. But did he play a very large role in this? Yeah. Like, at some point in time, you have to look at objectivity about stuff. And also, why is nobody upset that the only statues that they get is some fat bitch and a dope fiend? You want to hear talk about? If you want some better representation, let's start here. Why is this what you want to be memorialized as?
Do we have a Malcolm X statue somewhere?
There should be. Why I don't want that?
Damn. Is there an anniversary? Do we march? And do we do that for Malcolm?
Of Malcolm X, somebody who was actually doing positive things and got killed fighting for you to be able to do stuff. For you to then, all of these years later, forget about all of that and worship an addict.
It's crazy, man. Crazy.
What are you doing?
That's why I say I get sometimes, Jay. I don't know if there's hope. Sometimes you laughing. I'm dead serious, Jay. I'll be like, man. I'll be telling my wife, man, fuck these niggas, man. They ain't worth shit.
But see, this, I mean, that's the thing, man. This is what I'm saying. That people so desperate to make everything into some sort of oppression narrative that they take this thing and they make a junkie a hero. And I see people posting up, where would he be 5 years if? What could he have been? What was he before?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're gonna leave that. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, man.
Don't do that.
Like
Don't
at
do
some
it.
point
Don't do it.
we got to live in the real world. That's all I'm saying.
Hey yo, that right there is crazy. That right there is crazy. But don't do that. Don't do that. we gonna get into that bag right there. Do not do that, because that right there is crazy. People asking that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Swear to God. What could he have been? And then I saw people Photoshop this motherfucker as an astronaut and all this other shit.
We go in. This is game within the game. This is game within the game. This is Randy Nichols, Jason Lamar. Like, yo, we ended that right there. I ain't fucking with you. Because what? Astronaut? Nah, dog. We ain't getting into that bag, Jay. No. What? A fucking astronaut?
Nah, a fucking dog. Politician?
Nah. Like I said, this game within the game. And it was good talking to you, Jay.
Y'all motherfuckers do better, man. God damn.
To you, man. Because if we go any further, you about to piss me off, Jay.
Oh man, that's yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it. Game within the game, man. Y'all fucking do better. Junkie power. Fuck out of here.